Welcome to Trendverse by Uzma Amin, your destination for the latest trends in AI, online earning, blogging, finance, technology, and future skills. If you want to stay ahead, learn smarter, and grow faster in the digital world, you're in the right place. Subscribe to join our growing community. Like and share to support valuable content. Turn on notifications so you never miss what's next. Let's learn, earn, and grow together.
For so many kids, platforms like TikTok and Instagram, they're just a huge part of life. But what if that all changed? Seriously, right now, governments all over the world are talking about a pretty radical idea, banning social media for young people. So what is going on here? What's driving this massive global debate? Let's dive in and find out. And that's the big question, right? It really gets to the heart of our digital lives. So why the sudden push from lawmakers? What's got them so concerned that they're considering such a huge step? Let's break it down. Okay, so when you look at the arguments for putting limits on social media for kids, it really comes down to three big things, three major concerns. We're going to walk through each one so you can really get a sense of the potential harms that have experts and parents, well, pretty worried. All right, first up, mental health. This is a big one. There's just this growing mountain of evidence that links heavy social media use to a spike in anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem, especially in teens. And a huge reason for that? It's something called social comparison. Think about it. Kids are just constantly scrolling through these perfect, highly curated, and totally unrealistic pictures of other people's lives. And that can really, really take a toll on how they feel about themselves.
And then there's the very real threat of cyberbullying, which is, it's a whole different beast. This isn't like the schoolyard bullying some of us might remember. Online harassment, it can be absolutely relentless. It's 24/7. It follows a kid home right into their bedroom. It can feel impossible to escape. It's just this constant, stressful presence in their lives.
Okay, and this third point, it's about the very design of these apps. I mean, think about features like endless scrolling, the constant notifications buzzing your phone, those super short, bite-sized videos. None of that is an accident. It's all engineered very deliberately to keep you hooked, to maximize the time you spend on the app. And for kids, well, that can mean less time for homework, less time for sleep, and honestly, less time for just being a kid out in the real world.
So you put all that together, the mental health concerns, the cyberbullying, the addictive design, and it's really no surprise that governments are feeling the heat to do something. Let's look at how all this concern is starting to turn into actual real-world action.
And look, this isn't just some fringe idea we're talking about. We're seeing major nations, places like Australia, France, the UK, they're all actively debating new, much stricter rules. And we're not just talking about idle chatter here. These are concrete proposals for actual laws, all designed to protect young people from the very harms we just discussed. Okay, so you might be asking, how would this even work? How would they enforce it? Well, one of the main tools being talked about is something called age verification systems. The idea is pretty simple, really. You'd force social media companies to put strong systems in place to actually confirm a user's age. So what that could mean is if you're under, say, 16, you would literally need your parents' permission just to create an account.
But of course, it's never that simple, is it? The idea of an outright ban on social media, well, that comes with its own whole can of worms. There are a lot of critics, and this debate is definitely not one-sided.
And this right here is really the core of the whole conflict. Because for all the risks we've been talking about, the anxiety, the bullying, the addiction, there are also some pretty significant benefits. I mean, for a lot of kids, social media is how they connect with their friends. It's where they learn new things, find new hobbies, and express their creativity. An outright ban could mean taking all of that away. And that's a really big deal. Which, of course, brings us to the million-dollar question. Even if you did pass these bans, would they actually work? A lot of experts are pretty skeptical. They argue that tech-savvy kids will always find a way around the rules. Whether it's using a VPN to hide their location or just lying about their age. It's not exactly a high-tech hack. So where does that leave us? Well, we're stuck with this incredibly tricky puzzle. This isn't some clear-cut case of good versus evil. It's really all about trying to find a very, very delicate balance in a world that's becoming more digital by the day. And that's really the ultimate goal, isn't it? Finding that balance. There's this quote that just nails the dilemma perfectly. It's about protecting young people from harmful content while still allowing them to benefit from the digital world. That's it right there. The real challenge for everyone involved, policymakers, parents, the tech companies themselves,
is figuring out exactly how to thread that needle.
And that really funnels down into the one fundamental question at the heart of this entire debate. Is the answer to restrict access for kids, to put up walls? Or is the real responsibility on the platforms to just build safer online spaces for everyone, especially their youngest users?
So here we are at a major crossroads, and believe me, there are no easy answers. As this conversation keeps happening all over the globe, it's forcing all of us to think about the kind of future we're building. What do you think? Is it better to build a sort of digital fence around our kids? Or is it better to teach them how to navigate this world safely on their own? The debate, as you can see, is far from over.